Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday? Oh my gosh, it's Thursday already. How beautiful. That means tomorrow is DCA day and payday. How's everyone doing today? Hey, what's going on, guys? Bitcoin 120, 440, even, looking good. Absolute giga pumpage. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we stand. Bears definitely getting wrecked as of late, which is a lovely change of pace. Bulls finally getting a little breather. We got 119, 768. Oops, 768. Get a little excited there. There we go. What's going on, Philly? Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. I appreciate you guys for being here. 117, 518. And then up top, 121, 028. And then the very tippy top of that little cloud is, I guess I'll go right here, 122, 558. Current all-time high as it stands is 124, 474 on the Binance Tether Bitcoin chart. So, what do you guys think? You guys think we hit all-time high before the weekly close? Let's do a poll. Do you think Bitcoin makes a new all-time high before the weekly close on Sunday? Yes or no question. Avert your attention to the poll, if you would. And let's continue. Bitcoin looks good, 124.37 and 33 cents. RSI is overbought on the 4-hour, but it has been since yesterday, so that apparently doesn't mean much right now, which is exciting because when the RSI stops mattering, that's how you know we're in at least a bull trend. And bull trends are fun. So we do have a red dot on our momentum wave, which we had earlier as well. Didn't really do anything, but maybe once this candle closes, we can continue to the upside. It's anyone's guess right now. So far, bulls have been correct this entire time. ETH is up 2.84% on the day, currently trading at 44.71. We want to see ETH get above 4,500. That's the next big level that we want to get above. And then eventually, we want to get to 48.68. But I think 45 is kind of the last big level that I'm looking at. I guess my midpoint between 42.40 and 48.68 is 45, 46, like 45, 46, right around here ish. So get above this area. Let's get above 46 to look for signs that we're heading towards 48. But we get above 45, it's going to be a little more exciting than it has been. RSI is overbought, potentially getting ready to have cross bearish over that moving average. And your momentum wave does have a green dot. So upside is being signaled as well. Billy said, JJ, the chart showing the red and green months that show October is awesomely bullish. Does that also include stocks, or does stocks operate under a different chart? That's only for Bitcoin specifically, as far as I'm aware. You're talking about Bitcoin monthly returns. Okay, come on. Why would that even be an option? Bitcoin monthly returns right here. Yeah, so you got Bitcoin monthly returns. You can also do Bitcoin quarterly returns and Ethereum quarterly returns. I don't know, do they have Ethereum? They do not have Ethereum monthly. But yeah, the monthly is Bitcoin. Stocks, I have no idea. I know during the summer is actually a bad time for like most stuff. I think fall and winter are more bullish for everything because people are indoors, or at least a good chunk of people are indoors, and they are more inclined to spend money on something like an investment. That's just me. Tom Salkscout said, Trump talking about tariff stimmies. I saw that. Very exciting. Number go up for everything, most likely. Yep, I agree. Giovanni said, what the F is AIA and why it pumped like that? AIA. That is the American Internal Anal Society, or the Anal Interior Americans. I don't know. I don't know what AIA is. It definitely sounds like something to do with the butt, though. So, ETH, let's get above 4,500. Continue to the upside. Volume looks good. Everything else looks good. We might get a pullback here. If we do, I would look to 43.38 as support. But it looks good. It looks like it wants to try to push up a little bit more. Sold is up 5.17% on the day, currently trading at 233.52. We got above 225, which is exciting. 245 should be next. 250 is going to be a big psychological level, so I'm going to mark that anyways. 250. And I'm going to make it a dotted line because it's not necessarily... Well, I could probably make the argument that this double top was 250. Where's my... There we go. 250 right here. I guess I'll leave it there. I like it. This little cushion zone is what we're heading towards next, between 245 and 250, so let's get some upside. Giovanni said, why is AVAX not mooning with the rest? That's how it goes. That's how it always goes. AVAX is going to probably lag behind a little bit because it didn't really dump with everything else. Like, everything went up, sideways, down, and now it's recovering. AVAX went up, sideways, and then did like this. So while AVAX is still up here, it looks like it's still going sideways and kind of crappy, but everything else still has to climb the mountain, you know. Tariff stimmy would go insane for us. Dude, I would be so stoked for tariff stimmy. Give me free money, man. We got a couple of miscellaneous checks from Whitmer in Michigan, which was pretty sick. One of them was like car insurance refund or something. And then I think we got another one for car insurance refund because they still had money or something. I have no idea. But yeah, getting a surprise check in the mail that's like a legit check for like between $500 and $1,000 is like, oh shoot, this is free money. It's pretty sick. I thoroughly enjoy it. Okay. Yeah, guys, smash the like button. What if I said why no likes? That's upsetting. We're supposed to get all of the likes before Waterfly shows up. Make him proud. Now you guys just disappointed him. Jeez. So, Solana. Let's see if Solana makes it to 245 before getting a pullback. It is also overbought in the 4-hour time frame. We got a green dot on a momentum wave. Upside potential, but, you know, we are getting overheated on most of these charts. Total 3 is up 2.81% on the day. We broke above our previous all-time high of 1.13, our current all-time high 1.16. If we break above that, which it looks like we could, then in my opinion, we're going to start to see some actual like alt season reactions out of these charts. Not this, you know, maybe pamby BS that we've been getting for like the past 12 months. Where everyone's like, oh my, what do you mean no alt season? BNB hit a new all-time high. Solana hit a new all-time high. It's because of Pump Fun. They take all the money. And, you know, everyone's got a little whiny excuse. If Total 3 breaks above 1.16 trillion, I think it's go time. What if I said I'm disappointed in you, JJ, only when you wear black shirt? I mean, that's all the time, then. Well, that's not true. I wear a purple shirt for work. So, there's that. Cheers. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. Is it weird when you guys get to see me sip the drink? Like, is that weird? Does it feel weird? It feels weird doing it. Okay. All right, let's move on. Total 3 looks amazing. We are overbought on the RSI and Total 3 as well, though. Just like everything else. That's probably literally going to be every single chart today. So, I apologize for repeating myself. I'm going to apologize ahead of time. Cardano is up 2% on the day, currently trading at 86.83. Let's get above 90 and then hopefully eventually above $1. What's interesting about all of these charts, and it's the same with the ADA chart, is we got kind of like this pump and retrace and then this dump and retrace. And if you were to like flip this back over, it would probably be this exact same shape. So we got kind of like a mirror inflection scenario that is happening, and it's very interesting to observe. Are we going to continue to do this all the way up? Because that, in my opinion, would be max pain. You would flush out all of these longs, you would flush out all of these shorts, and that would just happen over and over again. And that seems like something the market maker would 100% do. Coach said, "Hey bro, I have a long 100x say at 29.05. Can you analyze? Thanks." I will analyze the chart, but I'm also going to not financially advise you that 100x is actually insane, and anybody that wins 100x trades all the time is lying, and they lose more than what they make. But that's just my opinion. SNEK is up 42.02 right now, or 42.402. It's up 7.23%, looking good. We got above 40, and it is game time. Let's get a big blast to the upside for SNEK. It's been a long time coming. Some consolidation happening. Let's just break that upper trend line and just explode to the upside. Let's go look at C. Say? Is it say? I don't remember. Yeah, because the other one's Ray, so it would have to be say. If I'm applying the same rules. 30 cents. You got 29.05. I mean, I like that entry. This wick is indicative of some buying pressure. It is not overbought yet, which is good. You do have a red dot on your momentum wave, which is signaling some downside. You have not gotten a green dot to really counteract that yet. Volume is a little lackluster. I guess I would want to see you break above this 30.22 area, and then we could start talking about some continued upside. That is the struggle point right now, though. 30.22. You get above that, and then upside is there. But right now, you're coming in for a retest of this moving average on your RSI. You want to hold that. If you break below that, it's probably going to get a little spicy. But if you bounce, continue to the upside, then you're good to go. Now, it could do a little fake out below it, like it did here or here. You know, you get your break, a little fake out continuation. This one just gets down just below it for a brief second. So there's a bunch of different factors to take into consideration. Get above 30.22 with conviction, because you kind of plummeted. You closed the candle right there, and then as soon as you open that next candle and started going down below 30, it was over. And you haven't been above that since you broke it. So after you get above 30, 31 is probably going to be your next level. 30 and 31. XRP is up 2.88% on the day. A little rejection at 310. We did get above 3, though, which is exciting. That's what we were looking for. As soon as it got above the lower trend line, turned to upper trend line from this triangle, then it just immediately shot up above $3. Very nice. Kind of came up, rejected, support, break, and now you don't want a bearish engulfing candle. John said, "What? Of course Bitcoin won't make a new all-time high before Sunday because I want it to." I mean, it's 50-50 right now. The people are speaking. Delicious. I need a microwave right next to my desk. That would be dangerous. Okay. 303.28. Yeah, you don't want a bearish engulfing out of this. Otherwise, the price is probably going to go back down. And you get a proper rejection at $3. Let's see. Is there anything similar? Not really. Well, actually, right here. You broke above. You rejected at 310. Got below 3 again. And then rejected. And then broke above it with conviction. Only for a brief moment because you broke down again. But this right here could be what's going to play out, which would just be just a brief rejection and a little fake out below $3. So keep an eye on that. That's a possibility. Your RSI was incredibly overbought, but it has since retraced and is now hovering right above the moving average. So you're probably going to get a little bit of a RSI move below that moving average regardless. Momentum wave does not have a lot going on. You have a green dot way the heck back here, which spurred all of this price action. But since then, nothing has changed. Just keep an eye on this current candle. If it becomes bearish engulfing, it could get a little bit dicey. But also keep in mind that previous chart pattern where it rejected at 310, got below $3 just for a brief moment, and then continued to the upside. You might need that little liquidity pullback. HBAR is up 1.18% on the day, 1.17% on the day, currently trading at 22.68. You got above 22.04. You got a nice wick indicating some buying pressure. Your RSI is potentially about to retest the moving average. And you got a red dot on your momentum wave signaling downside. Potential bearish engulfing candle as well. Something to keep an eye on. I would call this a midpoint rejection, actually. Right at that 22.8. So you want to get above 22.8 and close above it. And then continue going up. Flight Fan said, good morning, peoples. What's going on, Flight Fan? Coach said, I understand, but I take the opportunity of the dip. Respect. Fahid said, new all-time high is very close. It is indeed. SWE is up 1.39% on the day. It is kind of decoupling from my little concept of repetition here. Well, actually, I feel like that's allowed because this thing got a little wacky. This one got really wacky. But the general shape, the little touch and go is there. So let's get that touch and go and look for October 10th. What is that? Next Friday. Next Friday, potential explosion to the upside if this pattern is going to remain relevant, which I think it has a good chance to simply because of how overbought everything is right now. And SWE might be the ultimate indicator for this situation. We are sitting well above 353. We're at 357 right now with the little fake out wick indicating some buy pressure. Volume looks decent, actually. It was really low here. It's like got a little consistent rise right there, which is great. You got a little bowl, nice parabola going on with your RSI. You do have a red dot on your momentum wave signaling downside, and your RSI is about to test that moving average. So let's see where it takes us. Mr. Roberts said, hey y'all, what's going on, Mr. Roberts? Happy Thursday, my friend. Yeah, SWE looks good. Little midpoint rejection, just above 360, in between 353 and 370. So we'll see what happens. The next probably 8 hours are going to determine a lot of these charts, I would assume. Ondo's up 2.07% on the day. Currently trading at 95.51. We are above 95.35, which is awesome. It's exactly what we want. I like this wick. I like all of these wicks. There's a lot of wicks, a lot of buying pressure on Ondo, it seems. I'm not a big fan of this red candle right now because I don't want bearish engulfing, and that's what it seems like a lot of coins are setting up for right now. But it could be a little fake out. You do have a green dot in your momentum wave signaling potential upside, and volume looks really good. And your RSI is about to test that moving average as support. This would not be any kind of midpoint rejection. I would actually, if this got below 95.35 again, I would just call that a failed attempted break. So let's close above 95.35 and then hopefully hold that, show some strength. Even if we just trade sideways, I would like to show some strength at or just below 95.35. I could even do this. I'd be okay with that. Lingering right at 95.35. Just as long as we don't reject and then, plummet back down to 90. Aerodrome is up 7.96% on the day. Looking good. Aero, beautiful price action right here. We got a nice little bounce off of a dollar area and broke above 104, 110, and 115, all of which had the same reaction, it seemed. Not necessarily 104. 104 was a pretty solid break, but then 110 we had a little struggle right here, and then we broke above, and then 115 struggle, and then we broke above. And as of right now, we're rejecting 120, and we're currently sitting at 118. Volume could be better. RSI was overbought for a moment. We're back in the safe zone now, potentially coming down to retest that moving average. We got less than 20 minutes remaining until the daily close contest, so make sure you guys stick around for that. RSI looks good. Green dot on your momentum wave from Wednesday, which is yesterday, from yesterday, and that signaled your bottom right there. You got a nice rise out of that. Right now, it looks like we're just gonna probably have to cool off maybe, and then continue later. We'll see what kind of pattern the chart forms, if anything at all. It might just continue straight up from here. Who knows? But it looks good. Pinlink is up 1.35% on the day. The Pinlink fractal, which is literally just copy-paste this exact same move from back here. So far, so good. It's not 100%. I'd say it's about 80 right now. No, it's not. It's probably like 10. We missed this gigantic spike. So we currently have this and this. So, yeah. Maybe like 30%. I'd say 30% is a safe bet. But we'll see if we reject at 50 cents and then pull back to 39.93. As of right now, that 50-cent level is a bit of a struggle. We got, let me make this a little more transparent. As funny as it is, we got a big wick right here showing a sell-off, at least on MXC specifically, and then that wick is followed immediately by another attempt, which is currently rejecting as we speak. Let's see if this turns into a bearish engulfing candle. RSI potentially retesting that moving average, and momentum wave has a green dot, signaling potential upside, but we'll see. Render's up 2.12% on the day, currently trading at 363. We got our little triple bottom scenario around 330, kind of a descending, broadening wedge almost down here. And I could even make the argument that it's this purple trend line, but there's only 2-3 points of confluence here. So it's a little sloppy. We got our nice breakout retest continuation. Maybe that is what it is. I actually kind of like it when you put it out that way. The yellow line is right at 330. So yeah, that was kind of our sloppy support right there. We broke above 350, and after we got above 350, we just kind of started to linger, and we got a little midpoint resistance right here with that wick, and we broke above that. We're currently sitting at 363 right now, seemingly rejecting 370 with no real rhyme or reason to it. But well, it almost was overbought there. It technically did not become overbought though. So yeah, we'll see what the RSI does at that moving average test, and you do have a green dot on your momentum wave, signaling potential upside. Again, same thing as all the other charts. We don't want bearish engulfing here, so we want something to happen before that completely fills that green candle next to it. John said, yo, 121.96.23. I want another cheesy breadstick, bruh. John, you gotta wait, my friend. 7:50 p.m. EST is when you can submit, unless you become a channel member. Any channel member tier allows you to guess up to 1 hour early, and the third tier, the highest tier, allows you to guess 1 minute after the deadline. But you're allowed to start guessing at 7:50 p.m. EST. I will let you know in the chat and in the webcam. And then 7:55 p.m. is the hard cutoff. Again, unless you're a tier 3 channel member, then you're allowed to go to 7:56. Okay. So yeah, render. We don't want bearish engulfing, so we want to close above 360. Stellar's up 2.03% on the day. Stellar surprised me yesterday with that break above 36.51 and the immediate skyrocket back into our range, and this purple trend line, which we had determined was some semblance of resistance that we rejected. Inverse head and shoulder rejected, and then seemingly formed some kind of double bottom right here. So technically speaking, would this be maybe some kind of I don't know, are there necklines on double bottoms? Is that a thing? This seems to be a common resistance, actually. You got rejection right here, and now right here. So that, what is that, 41 something? 41.18, 41.16, 41.16 level seems to be resistance. I like the volume that we got right here. I really do. RSI is overbought. And we got kind of like a little cat ear situation going on here. Are we going to, probably going to trace below that moving average? It's probably going to look just like this, actually. But way the heck up here. That's probably exactly what's going to happen. So we'll keep an eye on that. Unless, which it would be better, unfortunately it would suck for the price, but we got a little prolonged retrace right here. Maybe this could even just do one of these and get that RSI back to like the 40 or 30 level. See, Tyler is a channel member, so Tyler's allowed to submit early. He's got 126.69.69. Very nice. I'll get a picture of that so that I don't forget. All right. Light Fan said, are you guys interested in looking at Toshi? It's kind of moving. Coach said, it's fascinating. With Bitcoin, it can hurt us for 1 month and one day it recovers for everything. That's what I'm saying. I don't remember. There was a statistic that somebody published about the S&P 500, and it was like, if you miss the 5 most bullish days for the S&P 500, and I'm paraphrasing, but the idea was if you miss like 5 days, the 5 best performing days of the S&P 500, then you will miss out on 80% of the gains that are to be had. And the same applies to, in my opinion, everything. That's why I get a little worked up when Ben Cowan is like, alts are going to underperform and Bitcoin dominance is going to pump extremely to the upside. Because people are going to move everything into Bitcoin. And then when that stops happening, no one's going to know when. Alts are going to go up 10, 20, 30x in a day. Those poor people are going to miss out because they listen to Ben Cowan for like a 20% gain on Bitcoin. They're going to miss out on their 400% gain on, you know, Fartcoin that they've been holding for 4 years. It's goofy to me. I think it's a little reckless to tell people just with a straight face that like something's going to happen one specific way and not explain to them that that's the time that you want to get into altcoins or accumulate altcoins. I don't know. It's silly to me. You don't chase green candles. Don't chase pumps. Formulate your plan, execute it prior to the pump, and then you won't miss out on these beautiful explosions to the upside because they happen fast. They happen very fast. Coach said, what are your thoughts on government shutdown? I could care less, honestly. Everything seems to be pumping, so it seems to be bullish for the market. I think that when the government is shut down and they see everything like that is essential still happening and the country still functioning as it was the day prior, they should probably take a look at the shutdown stuff and be like, maybe we can save some more money here. Maybe we can trim the deficit a little bit more. Maybe we don't need to be paying 4,000 people to calculate jobs numbers just for them to be revised 12 months later. You know what I mean? It's just goofy, man. It's goofy, man. Coach said, if we get surprise 0.5 cut, do you think we'd pump? I don't know. Maybe crypto. Maybe crypto. I'm actually surprised that we're almost guaranteed another cut this month. And I think that that's because I've been so conditioned by no cuts ever. And the Fed to just sit on their hands and do nothing and expect inflation to go away from that. I think that that's where my brain goes. I'm like, well, yeah, they've done nothing this whole time. They're probably going to continue to do nothing. And then they do something, and I'm like, what? It's crazy. So, yes, let's see Stellar get above this 41. I'm going to call it 4120. 0.412. 0.412. Yeah, we'll call it 41.20. Coach said government shutdown for agreement of price chai latte in Starbucks. I've never had to see. What disappoints me about going to places and getting something like a chai latte is they'll like make some kind of cream or something, and then they pull out like the brand name one, like the jug from the fridge, and then they just pour it in there and microwave it. And I'm like, why am I paying you for a chai latte if you're just giving me one that I can buy at the store? I don't know. It's kind of silly to me. I've seen that happen like 3 times at 3 different places. I don't get chai lattes out and about. I think it's goofy. Unless I know a place is actually going to make it in front of me. Polkadot, surprising, up 3.97% on the day. We broke above $4 with conviction. And then as soon as we got above $4, it had a nice little relaxing climb above 420. We're sitting at 429 right now, seemingly rejecting 430. What is that? 432? The midpoint in between 421 and 444. Midpoint is getting a little rejection. So what we want to do, if we're going to properly reject, which we probably should, we got a red dot on our momentum wave and our RSI is overbought and due for a little pullback, at least to the moving average, maybe below it a little bit. I would like to hold above 421. Let's reject here, hold above 421, linger, let that RSI reset, and then we can continue to the upside in a day or two. Maybe we get a weekend pump. Maybe this weekend is incredibly bullish and exciting. That would be fun. Oh, Flake Fan wants to take a look at Toshi. Let's go take a look at Toshi. Toshi 0.0008119. Let's see. We had a little horizontal resistance at 75, and we got above that. Resistance, break, continuation. And our midpoint is up here at 87. Currently sitting at 81. There's not much to go off of here besides, you know, you got your red dot on your momentum wave. And your RSI was very, very briefly, very faint, overbought. So you are maybe rejecting off of that. And then I guess we got to see how you react at your moving average. I really like this. Was very obviously coiled up. Like it's so easy to see it. And we pointed it out on a couple of different assets, but this one, I don't think we looked at Toshi at all. This looks amazing. This right here, it's like, look how wide and sloppy, and then all of a sudden it gets really, really tight, coiled up, and then bam! That is how you know a move is coming. Looks good. I suppose if we do retrace, we could go all the way down to 75. I would love to see it hold above 8. That would be a little psychological potential for some support. So let's see how this retrace works and what the RSI does. Mr. Roberts said, I think a 50 basis point cut finally decouples Bitcoin from SPY, just for a while though. And that my exit. Okay. Farcoin. Farcoin is up 6.25% on the day, currently trading at 67.065. Looking good. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Really helps the channel out. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so if you could smash the like button, I would thoroughly appreciate it. It's completely free for you, and it helps me a lot. Farcoin, 67.064. Let's see. We had horizontal resistance at 61.94. We got rejection. We finally broke support, continuation. Yeah, this looks like we're doing a little ladder up. I want to get above our midpoint here at 72.6, which was previous support. Now turned resistance from that break, so let's get above that. I'll pull it over a little bit more because we're probably going to do one of these, hopefully. But we'll keep an eye on it. We are not overbought on the RSI, which is great. That means there's room to go to the upside. Farcoin, I feel like, makes pretty violent moves, which is awesome because the RSI does not care when that happens for some reason. I don't know why. It was incredibly oversold down here. That was like your Pico bottom signal. Perfect buy on Farcoin. Well, maybe not actually, because that was right here. Interesting. This is a good indicator as to what the RSI does. It's not just black and white. Look at this. This was incredibly oversold because it went straight down hard twice. And then you lingered sideways and you went down even further, and the RSI actually stopped at a higher point than what it was back here because you had that little retrace, that cool off. So you get that cool off and then you go down even more, and guess what? It's almost not oversold right here. And that was your bottom. That's bullish div right there, signaling upside. You got upside, continuation. Everything looks good now. You are testing right now your moving average, which is interesting. See if you find support there, bounce or break below it briefly. And you do have a red dot on your momentum wave, signaling some downside in the short term. Giovanni wants to take a look at Turbo. Turbo. I've looked at this before. Was it okay? Okay, yeah. So Turbo, 34.38. I guess at some point was a point of interest. Well, yeah, actually, I see it. Interesting. So look at this. Let me go to a higher time frame, maybe. Daily? Yeah. So you got bounce, 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 little break, bounce, bounce, bounce. That 34.38 level seems to be very, very heavy support. Besides right here, this is an anomaly, you know, a little kind of a great buy opportunity, to be completely honest. If you would have bought down here when this thing was going crazy, let's say the first bounce, you buy the top of that first bounce, you're still up 50%. So you got to keep an eye on this stuff, especially when there's a prevailing pattern. What next? You want to get to 44.18. It's at 38.72. The midpoint is probably, I'm just going to call it 4, maybe 39.5. Volume could be a little bit better, but this is OKX specific. You got a green dot on your momentum wave, unconfirmed green dot on market cipher, and you got a bullish cross over your moving average on the RSI with kind of a janky inverse head and shoulder on that RSI as well. So the upside potential is definitely there. And you got your nice bottom that we've seen play out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. 7 times support. Pretty decent size support. So I'd say it might be a safe upside. We'll see. Maybe it does one of these as well. Maybe it does this and then it rejects and then it does one of those and then you get a nice little inverse head and shoulder with a little baby target of like 53. I don't know. It looks good though. I'm liking the candles right now. CAS is up 1.7% on the day, currently trading at 81.15. We broke above our midpoint around 79.6, and we're currently making our way towards 82.76. Get above 82.76, and it is go time. The really big one, probably 9 or 10. But what I like about this chart is, what the hell is that? Why is that there? You got kind of like a wedge going on. And it looks like it's about to break. So maybe you get a break and then continue. Maybe it just keeps going. But regardless, volume very, very uniform down right now. It was up. It looked good back here. I want to see volume return. You do have a unconfirmed green dot on market cipher. You got a green dot in your momentum wave signaling some upside. And you got a bullish cross over the moving average on the RSI. So the upside potential is there. You also kind of got this little coiling thing that we talked about going on for an extended period of time on that RSI. So it's really, really like squeezed up in there. This thing is coiled up and ready to go, in my opinion, not financial advice. That pulse play, I said Ray sending. Let's go take a look at Ray. Jeez, I'm doing things I'm not supposed to do. There we go. Ray is, ooh, 26.63 for the day. Very nice. You got above 55, 56. What did I say? We got less than 1 minute remaining until the daily close contest. But before I get into that, guys, I pointed out yesterday the waste management fractal, W, M, retrace, and then continuation. And that retrace happened, and that's exactly what's playing out. Beautiful upside. Let's freaking go. You want to get above that 65 level. It's going to be a midpoint resistance, and then 75 should be in play. Very exciting. All right, don't let me forget I'm on CAS, Bitcoin 123.01 and 72 cents. Let's go down to the 1 minute time frame. Have I been looking at the daily chart? For how long? Jeez. Okay, 123.34 and 96 cents. Guys, get your guesses ready for the daily close contest. What's going on here? Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Mr. Tyler entered early, so let's get his on the board. We got Tyler coming in with 126.69.69. Very nice. Tom Selleck's Goat coming in with 123.50. We've had, I think, 2 new people win in a row. Let me double check. We've had 2 new people win in a row. September 30th was Manny Vera, and yesterday was John Tujo. So let's see if they can continue their streak or if one of our OGs are going to take it for the day. Place your bets now. So far, 64% of you guys are saying Bitcoin makes a new all-time high before the close on Sunday. Giovanni coming in with a guess. 125.01.02. Very nice. Cheers, guys. Happy Thursday. I'm so excited that tomorrow's Friday. This is like my first week since being sick that I feel like I have like full functioning brain capacity. So I'm excited to have a weekend where I'm not actively trying not to die. Oh man, what a beautiful day. Anybody else, anybody at all for the daily close contest? I want to go check Bloom Energy really quick because I keep seeing stuff about it and I don't know why. Okay. Any other guesses for the daily close contest, ladies and gentlemen? We got Mr. Roberts coming in with a guess. 123.10. All right. Anybody else? Bitcoin 120, 450, and 48 cents. You guys got 2 minutes and 31 seconds remaining on the clock to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Bloom Energy. Okay. I'm scared to look at this. Okay. It's not actually, I don't know what alert I keep. Okay. Well, it is. Shoot. This thing's up 292% for the year. I had a huge chunk of Bloom in my portfolio like a year ago. I'm kind of pissed. All right. We got Degener. I butchered that. Degener. Coming in with 124.44. All right, you guys got 1 minute and 36 seconds to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. John, if you are here, this is your time to resubmit your guess in order to get it in during the guess window. Bitcoin 120, 472 and 11 cents. 124.95 and 36 cents. Pretty chill. Oh, you know what? I just remembered this game that I'm gonna play. I forgot what it's called. It's like Cabin Fever or something. I don't. Is it? No, it's not the Cabin Factory. I don't remember what it's called. I have to try and find it later. All right, you guys got 39 seconds remaining on the clock to get your guesses in for the daily close contest. Bitcoin 120, 522, and 89 cents. Currently, we only have 5 submissions, so your odds of winning are exponentially increased because of the reduced number of participants. I also have a mustache hair in my peripherals and it's bugging the crap out of me. You guys got any plans this weekend? Anyone doing anything crazy? And what are your DCAs for tomorrow? Ladies and gentlemen, time's up. Thank you for participating in the daily close contest. Let's get these bad boys up on the board. We've got 120, 669, 69 from Mr. Tyler. We've got Giovanni Fontes with 120, 501.02. We've got 120, 444 for dyor. We've got Tom Selleck's Goat with 120, 350. And last but not least, Mr. Roberts, 120, 310. There we go. Mr. Roberts. All right, currently Giovanni Fontes is in the lead. Mr. Roberts said, "Where the F is my soldering iron?" I actually have one in my work van. Would you believe me if I told you that? Is that a weird thing to have in a work van? I don't really do electronics repair on the go, so I'm not sure why it's in there. Okay. Bitcoin 120, 584 and 16 cents. Giovanni Fontes holding the lead pretty strong here. Giovanni, current place is, what is that, fourth place, tied with J-Shear 2.0 with 14 wins. We've got the current rankings as they stand. Tyler Yetzer in first place with 39 wins on the Iron Throne, followed by Tom Selleck's Goat and Fahid tied with 22 wins for second place. And then Hoffs in third with 15 wins. J-Shear 2.0 and Giovanni Fontes in fourth, tied for fourth with 14 wins. And Mr. Roberts in fifth with 12 wins. Janix in sixth with 11 wins. Waterfly in seventh with 9 wins. And in eighth place, we got 5 wins. dyor, Drummer, and Gourmet Brands of Brooklyn. Congratulations, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, you got 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining on the clock for the daily close contest. 62% of you guys have voted so far, thinking yes, we will get a new all-time high on Bitcoin before the weekly close on Sunday. 62%. Bitcoin 120, 585 and 92 cents. Giovanni's still in the lead. I can let me twist my mustache because I can. Yes. Should I get mustache wax? That'd be kind of funny. Okay. We are down to the final 2 minutes. 1 minute 54 seconds. Bitcoin 120, 593 and 49 cents. Giovanni Fontes with a cavernous gap and a tremendous lead. What's it gonna be, ladies and gentlemen? Number go up. Very exciting stuff. 120, 599, 99, 126, 11, 99. Getting a little pumpy here. Bitcoin continues to defy gravity. Mr. Roberts said, "Found it. All good, everyone. We can all sleep well." Thank God. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining on the clock for the daily close contest. Bitcoin lingering at 120,600. Is it going to close as Giovanni being our winner, or is somebody else going to take it? At the last second, are we going to get a pump or dump? Is this going to be another close close? Little dump there. Giovanni's still holding the lead. This is the final minute. This is the candle that will determine the fate of our winner. Getting a little more dumpy. Giovanni maybe losing his lead here. 125.12 and 83 cents. 43 seconds remaining on the clock. Giovanni Fontes still in the lead by a hair, a $11 hair, $11.82, $11.81, 26 seconds remaining. Dumpy red volume is increasing, which means more sellers than buyers. Are we going to get a dump into DeGenaire's lair? Or is this going to close the way that it is right now as it stands with Giovanni Fontes in the lead? Ladies and gentlemen, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Giovanni Fontes, on your victory. Bitcoin daily close price, 120, 529, 35, 120, 539. No, 529, 35. And I repeat, 120, 529, 35. Bitcoin daily close, 120, 529, 35. 120, 529, 35. Congratulations, Giovanni, on your victory. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat. Ooh, pretty nasty red candle immediately after the close on the 1 minute time frame. We got a 125.01.02. Congratulations, my friend. All right, let's go back to the 4 hour time frame. Ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat for our winner. Very exciting stuff. Bitcoin thoroughly enjoying itself upon another successful daily close. Whoops. All right, ladies and gentlemen, spam the bananas in the chat. Yay! Banana spam inbound. Congratulations, Giovanni, on your victory. Let me add you to the winner's Google Doc. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can I get a drum roll, please? And a stunning turn of events. The winner of today's daily close contest with a guess of 125.01 and 2 cents and an actual Bitcoin daily close of 125.29 and 35 cents on October 2nd, 2025, Mr. Giovanni Fontes' prize is a grilled bratwurst. Congratulations, Giovanni Fontes, on your victory. Feel free to plop this bad boy in a bun, or not. You can slice it up, slice it and dice it, and serve it amongst your friends, family, your peers, your fellow coworkers, your employer, your mom and dad, your grandma and grandpa, your sister, or your mom, or your grandma. Whatever you do, you are legally obligated to remove it from the premises. Congratulations once again on your victory. Enjoy. Very nice. Thoroughly enjoying this pumpy price action, I will say. Giovanni Fontes once again stealing Tyler's glizzy. If you consider bratwurst a glizzy. Some do, some don't. I do. What are you gonna do? All right. Giovanni said he's sharing with everyone. Thank you very much, Giovanni. That's very generous. Bitcoin seemingly rejecting 121.28. Nope, I lied. That is a liquidation point. I did that same thing yesterday. I maybe I have to make them a different color. Let me make my charting a little bit more difficult. All right. Let's see. Where was I? I think I was on CAS. Avalanche down 0.1% since the daily close. We do seem to be rejecting once again this midpoint at $31, which is right in between $29.51 and $32.50. RSI pretty quiet, lingering around 60. Momentum wave got a green dot pointing to the upside. What's nice is that we do seem to have got an initial rejection retest confirmation. So if this does break, then that we should have enough room to at least get to 32.50. and maybe linger up there next. The only concern that I have right now is this potential, and it's very, very sloppy, but it is there. The concept for a head and shoulders, maybe not. I don't know. It's sloppy, like I said. But even if it doesn't look good or it doesn't work at all, people are going to see that and go, oh my gosh, AVAX, it's going to do a head and shoulders. And they might sell because of that. Actually, I think it just made it work. Okay, anyways, let's get above this $31 resistance level and go from there. Chainlink is down 0.48 cents to daily close, also seemingly rejecting some sort of midpoint we got here, or maybe just temporary resistance. Previous support, 1, 2, let's see, we got 1, 2, resistance, support, support. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of confluence. Okay, so what is this? 2319? Isn't that the code for Monsters Inc? When they come into contact with like some human stuff. 2319. The fractal's still in play. It's sloppy. We are fully aware that it is incredibly sloppy and very loosey-goosey, but the concept is there. So let's see if we continue this pullback, even if we just linger like between 20 and 22 until November 17th, November 15th, let's call it November 10th. Yeah. Then the fractal will still be relevant, still be in play. Hopefully our next big stop here is 24.42, but like I said, we got to get above this this 23.19 level. RSI potentially retesting support at the moving average and a red dot on your momentum wave signaling some downside. So expect it. Doge is currently trading at 26.06, down 0.5% since the daily close. I'm trying really hard not to trade while I'm streaming, because that's usually when I mess up. Not that I have not focused on trading forever. It feels, I don't know. I feel bad for not trading. It feels weird. Doge has this overhead resistance, the purple trend line at around 26, and we're sitting at 26.06. So we are kind of trying to break that, which is nice. We did get above 24.130 and 25, both very nice breaks. The second one, the 25 break, came with a nice little retest wick, which indicates some pretty heavy buy pressure here, which is awesome. And we use that momentum to get above the purple trend line. We are currently overbought on the 4-hour time frame, so be careful with that. And you do have a red dot on your momentum wave since back here, though, so it might not even be relevant anymore. Something to keep an eye on. Let's stay above this 26 level and then talk about continuing. NEAR is down 0.13% since the daily close, seemingly rejecting $2.99 or $3 area. We did get above our purple midpoint line right here at 285, and we got a nice little wick buy pressure right there as well. Unfortunately, there's a counter wick right here, seemingly rejecting 29 or 2.99. Down 0.83% since the daily close. We are currently trading at 31.57. We are holding above 31.057, which is awesome. We got above that. We wicked down below it 1 second, and we are back above it, chilling. We didn't really spend any time in between 2.99 and 3.10. So this little pocket remains empty. We are potentially retesting the moving average on the RSI, and we got a red dot on our momentum wave back here. So let's see if that plays out and maybe pushes us into the pocket. Hopefully that 29.98 holds as support if we do break this 31.057. But so far it looks good. Silver, getting a little another little dumpy wick kind of candle right there. 46.89. This is like the highest. I believe silver had its highest quarterly close ever. But we do have a confirmed red dot on Market Cipher right here. I don't know if that is relevant for silver specifically, but keep that in mind. Confirmed red dot. RSI did break below the moving average and has since rejected. So we could see some downside out of silver here. Not financial advice. DXY. 97.85. Yeah, it's just quiet. It's been pretty flat right here for this entire time, honestly, since June. DXY has been very, very flat. Just dancing around this price. MicroStrategy up 4.11% on the day. Currently trading at 351.90. Looking good. Hopefully, next stop, 500. Let's freaking go. NASDAQ, beautiful recovery. New local high, 24,916. S&P, I believe, new all-time high, 67.15. S&P 500, absolutely shredding. I still can't believe how great the Ass Fractal was. Rest in peace, Ass Fractal 1 and 2.0. Bitcoin dominance. Oh, is that a rejection at 59.2 again? Hopefully that was the last one, and this thing just gives up. It's time. It is time to give up Bitcoin dominance. Your reign is over. So let's get a break below 57.68 and then start talking about alt season. Bitcoin itself, still relaxing, around 122.99 at 46 cents. Congratulations, Giovanni Fontes, once again on your victory. Enjoy your grilled bratwurst. Delicious. We got some news articles to go through. Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev says tokenization is going to eat the entire financial system. I agree. $3.6 trillion JP Morgan says Bitcoin is undervalued compared to gold, suggests Bitcoin could reach $165,000. I really like the modest price targets. I really do, because they seem realistic. And what's even nicer is if Bitcoin goes to like $250,000, everyone's gonna look back and be like, oh my gosh, remember when we thought 165 was a crazy prediction? That's fun. I don't know. There's something fun about that. Binance founder CZ meets with Kazakhstan's president to discuss crypto. Can we talk about this beautiful man? Is that a man? He has a gorgeous face. That's the president of Kazakhstan. What a lovely man. Absolutely beautiful image. I don't know. There's something about his face. He's glowing. He looks so happy. CME Group. This one's crazy. This is actually crazy news. CME Group to launch 24/7 crypto futures and options trading in 2026. I don't know if people realize how big of a deal that is. That is enormous. Polymarket, 90% chance the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates again this month, according to crypto prediction platform Polymarket. 90%. I believe it's 100% in other betting platforms, so pretty spicy. S&P 500 closes at new all-time high of 67.15. Ladies and gentlemen, number go up. Let's freaking go. Michael Saylor says, our journey began with 0.25 billion in Bitcoin. Today, we closed at a new all-time high, 77.4 billion. That's a lot of billion. Watch Your Guru also posted, President Trump says he's considering $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks for all taxpayers using tariff revenue. What did I freaking say? We've been calling this since he was elected, specifically because of midterms. I think that they're going to have to schmooze up their voters for midterms if they want any semblance of a chance, because they haven't really done anything to sway the votes. And I think in order to guarantee their win, they need to do something like stimmies. And I'm fully on board for stimmies. I want my bags pumped, and I will pump this. This is going straight into my bags. Over 130, what is that, billion added to the crypto market cap today. Very cool. We like that number go up. Very nice. Stablecoin market cap, 311.6 billion. I said it before. I'm going to say it again every single time. This is going to continue to climb forever. I don't think that there's ever going to be a point where this goes down like consistently. It is the stablecoin market cap. This is basically a money printer. That's all that they, and I don't think it's going to relate to crypto either. Maybe it will this time around a little bit, but there's going to get to a point where stablecoins are going to be completely disconnected from cryptocurrency. No one's even going to consider them related, because it's going to be how we transact everyday money. Majority of the stablecoin liquidity is just going to be stablecoins. It's not going to be used for like trading crypto. Giovanni said we need that stimmy. I'm all on board for the stimmy. Stimmy portfolio. Oh, dude, we got to do a stimmy portfolio. Are you kidding me? If they confirm that, We're gonna build one before those, like the day before those start getting sent out, just to see if that makes a difference. We'll make it a small one. We'll do 5 assets for that one, and we'll do them all the same day. Stablecoin mint 5 minutes ago. This was 6 hours ago. Circle issues another 750 million USDC clip on Solana. Very cool. When the government shuts down, crypto pumps. Okay, new narrative. That's pretty exciting stuff, I'm not gonna lie. I do thoroughly enjoy the pumpy crypto. Here we go. Big news. Risk appetite is incredibly strong. We've talked about risk appetite. My appetite for risk is enormous, and I believe majority of you guys have an enormous appetite for risk as well. We've discussed this in length. Total assets under management of all leveraged equity ETFs have now exceeded 1.6 billion, the highest since September 2022. This marks one of the highest readings in years, only below the 1.8 billion peak seen 3 years ago. Since April, leveraged equity ETF assets have risen 700 million or 74%. This comes as 1 year inflows into those funds reached their highest levels in at least 12 months. Interestingly, the largest 1 year inflow was recorded in leveraged ETFs tied to gold miners. Appetite for risk is near records. Mr. Robert said, LOL, Stimmy port, too good. We're doing a Stimmy port. It has been decided. We are witnessing history. Stock market futures are green again, with the S&P 500 now plus 39% since April 2025 low. Even as a government shutdown began just 24 hours ago, the S&P 500 is pushing further into record territory. This is the strongest market in modern history. Let's freaking go. Breaking Nvidia stock breaks above $190 and becomes the world's first $4.6 trillion company. Nvidia has now added $2.5 trillion of market cap since its April 2025 low. What was that? That was $100, it says? That's not bad. Pretty cool stuff. The construction industry. This one's interesting to me because I kind of work in construction, kind of. The construction industry is deteriorating rapidly. U.S. job openings in construction dropped 115,000 in August to 188,000, the lowest since May 2017. This marks the second largest monthly decline in data going back to January 2001. Since December 2023, the number of available vacancies, I thought it said vaccines. I was like, what does that have to do with construction jobs? The number of available vacancies in construction has plummeted 265,000 or 58.5%. As a result, the construction job openings rate fell to 2.2%, the lowest since November 2015. Such weakness this century has only been seen during 2008 and 2001. The construction industry needs help. Here's my question. How do you help the construction industry? Because that actually seems like a very complicated problem. The U.S. government shutdown is expected to last for 13 days per Kalshi. This would mark the 5th longest U.S. government shutdown in history. Nobody cares. Container shipping costs are plunging again. This one I just thought was interesting. Apparently it's cheaper to ship containers again, which is just interesting to me. Breaking, President Trump is considering providing taxpayers with $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks using tariff revenue. Hell yeah. U.S. home prices are slowly starting to decline. Home prices across America's 20 largest cities fell 0.07% month over month in August, less than the 0.2% decline expected. This marks the 5th consecutive monthly drop, the second longest streak in 14 years. However, prices were still up 1.82% on a year-over-year basis, the smallest gain since July 2023. Meanwhile, U.S. home values adjusted for inflation recorded their 3rd consecutive monthly decline. Despite this, real home prices remain 10% above their 2006 housing bubble peak. Is the U.S. housing market approaching a turning point? I freaking hope so, especially with construction collapsing. Get me a goddamn house. Congratulations, Giovanni Fontes, once again on your victory. Enjoy your grilled bratwurst. Bitcoin 120, 233, and 26 cents. Still chilling. We got some alts getting a little bit red here. No big deal. We're fully expecting and on board with the retrace. Retraces are healthy, so don't panic. Don't freak out if we get a retrace. It might even be a violent rip to the downside. Nobody knows. Don't panic. Retail investors are loading up on U.S. stocks. Individual investors have been net buyers of equities in 21 of the last 24 weeks. Furthermore, retail traders I have only bet net sellers in 7 out of 38 weeks in 2025. Have only been nets. I think I said bet. Last week saw the largest buying imbalance since May 5th, reflecting strong buy the dip activity. Retail has also been net buyers of ETFs in 183 of 185 trading days year to date, all while last week was the second most bullish week of 2025 for options activity. As a result, individual investors have now posted 22 consecutive weekly net purchases of equity options. Retail appetite for risk has never been stronger. I told you guys, enormous appetite for risk. Justin said, I have a phobia of German sausage. I fear the worst. That was brilliant. Cheers, Justin. Thank you very much for that. That was amazing. Delicious. I remember thoroughly enjoying liverwurst when I was a kid, and I can't even think about it now. I don't know why I even had access to liverwurst when I was a child. Bullish Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev says tokenization is an unstoppable freight train set to become the default for global stock access and reshape the financial system. Very cool. Mr. Roberts said, JJ, take a look at Canada versus US chart for equipment and infrastructure investment. Our 2015 and on decline makes me sick to my stomach. How do you got to tell me what to type. Canada versus US chart for equipment and infrastructure investment. Yeah, tell me what to type into TradingView. I don't know how to look that up. Justin said, I think we ate stuff like that because we were poor and that was all that we could afford. I remember only ever having chicken so often to the point where I asked, like at dinner, so I'm like, why do we always eat chicken? And I think back to it now and I'm like, damn, I think that's because it was cheap. And I feel bad that I asked, but I never went without. I will say that. I always feel bad, people get like their electricity shut off and stuff like that. And I've always gone out of my way to make sure that never happened to me and my family either. It was just always like, gotta provide the baseline necessities, and if I can't, then I gotta start cutting out spending somewhere else. But yeah, a lot of chicken for sure. Okay. Bullish JP Morgan says Bitcoin could climb to 165,000, citing gold's record rally. Very cool. Bitcoin flipped Amazon in market cap, which is crazy. Bitcoin is now worth more than Amazon. The crypto market added more than $400 billion in market cap this week, pushing the total above 4.07 trillion. Let's freaking go. Breakout retest new all-time high for Bitcoin, according to Stock Money Lizards. I see it. There's not a lot of confluence, but I see it. It looks like a little consolidation and breaking that upper trend line. So number go up. Very nice. And then last but not least, beautiful chart from Philanthrop. Historically, alt season has ignited in October. Back in 2021, early low cap entries delivered life-changing returns. This could be your final shot to turn $10 into $50K in the Shill 7 coins. But we're going to look at the beautiful chart right here. According to them, we are entering optimism, which is the number go up, the up-only era, the Bitcoin rally. So let's see what happens. I'm excited. Mr. Roberts, how do I pull that chart up? Bitcoin getting a little wick to the downside here. Maybe some price recovery already. We are still overbought on the 4-hour time frame, so keep that in mind. We are also currently testing that moving average, potentially. Congratulations, Giovanni Fontes, once again on your victory. Enjoy your grilled bratwurst. Bitcoin 120, 282, and 53 cents. Portfolio update. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is $1 in profit. Let's freaking go. It's about damn time. We have, what do we got? 4 assets that are green and 6 that are red. Starting from the bottom, Fetch is down 21, Shib is down 19, Aptos is down 15, Ondo's down 5, Near's down 2, Render's down 1, Propy's up 3, Doge is up 7, ADA's up 12, and Sol is up 39. Those count, by the way, as dollar amount and percentage because the initial investment per coin was $100. Next, we got our Memecoin portfolio. Post Libra is still down $39. Currently, we have 3 assets in the green, 2 in the red. Starting from the bottom, GigaChat is down $104. SNEK is down, what is that, $11? Pepe's up 12. Doge is up 21, and Whip is up 34. Looking good. Mr. Roberts, I appreciate you. I was going to drop some knowledge in the Discord for us to take a look at. Then we got the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and probably the most stable. Currently in profit, $67.33. This portfolio did not go negative during that entire dip that we just experienced. It is also made up of 1 meme coin, 1 artificial intelligence coin, 1 decentralized physical infrastructure coin, 1 real-world asset coin, and 1 gaming coin, and it is absolutely killing it. We have 1 asset in the red here. VeChain is down $14. Fetch is up 2, Tao's up 11, Mana is up 21, and Pepe is up 44. And then last but not least, the best performer so far, the perfect entry portfolio, made up entirely of coins voted on by you, the community. You guys killed it. We are in profit, $136 initial investment, $1,000. We have 3 assets that are in the red. Starting from the bottom, Render is down $11. Avalanche is also down 11. The Graph is down 3. Pith is up 2. Ondo's up 6, ETH is up 15, Sui is up 15, Sol is up 29, Crow is up 39, and Chainlink is up 50. 50%. Chainlink is literally up 50%. The entire concept of this portfolio was every single time the market was incredibly red and people were calling for a top and that we were entering a bear market and there was not going to be an alt season, we added a new coin. And it was $100 per coin. And so far, this thing has been shredding. It's doing really, really well. So, you guys killed it. Killed it picking coins. I'm excited to see where that one ends up at the peak of the bull market. When we start to get really heated up, we're going to have to maybe sit down and devise a take profit plan for our portfolios. I don't know how we'll document that, though. That'll be interesting. Maybe we can just swap these into stablecoin, right? I don't know. We'll figure something out. Bitcoin 120, 291, and 53 cents. Let's go see. Nothing from Mr. Roberts yet. What do you guys got? Any coins you want to take a look at? I'm gonna go to Dex Screener. Before that, actually, though, I want to go take a look at Strike. Strike is my baby. You guys are aware of that. They were just recently in the top 10 earners for DeFi, for perpetual trading protocols. Top 10 for the month of revenue, which is pretty sick, considering the fact that it's only a $26.12 million market cap. I am very excited to see what they do. Very, very excited. Chart looks great. I don't know. It's a buy for me. I'm unreasonably, irresponsibly bullish on Strike. You guys are aware of that, so. And then Giovanni said my taxes are so effed for this year. Really? How come? Is it because of crypto? See, I would be that guy that waited until January 1st to like swap anything just to put off the taxes for another year. Which is pretty funny to think about. All right, let's see. PFP Pump Fund Pepe, that's kind of cute. I keep seeing this look thing everywhere. They put like a ton of effort into their marketing. Let's see if it paid off. It looks like it paid off. Dang. I should have brought some, apparently. Jeez. Giovanni said Coinbase has my taxes are owed on like 25K. Whoa. What? That's crazy. All right, let's see. Mr. Roberts said, I swear the chart is gone now for me to search. What the F? Dang. They don't want you to know, man. You had too much power. You were spreading the knowledge. They were like, take that down. Is he telling other people to look at that? Take it down. Take it down now. Now you're going to get somebody showing up at your door. Excuse me, Mr. Roberts, is it? Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Like, dude, I'm going to try it right now. Every time on stream we start talking about Hillary Clinton, my stream rugs. Every single time. I don't know what it is. It's happened like 4 or 5 times now. It's creepy. It's so creepy. We mentioned Hillary Clinton and conspiracy theories, and then all of a sudden the stream rugs out of nowhere. It is the creepiest thing. So I don't know what she's done to the internet, but it freaks me out, dude. I've never been more terrified of a person that I've never met in my entire life. Pretty nightmarish. Not gonna lie, she's pretty scary looking as well. I feel bad for Bill. Can we save my man Bill? Somebody send help. Oh man. Yeah, Giovanni, I don't even know what I would recommend because I know that they miscalculate stuff so bad. I remember the first year I tried to do my crypto taxes, everything's like, oh, APY or API export and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, cool. And I use TurboTax. I do my own taxes. And I export all this stuff, and none of it was correct. It was like so wrong to the point where TurboTax couldn't even use it. It was like, we're having trouble reading this document. I'm like, great. Now what do I have to freaking do? I had to manually enter all that stuff in. It was a freaking nightmare. And I don't like to like take forever to do stuff, so I'll sit down and I'll do it all in one sitting. It took so long. I've never been more turned off from crypto than when I do my taxes. Needless to say, though, after that, I stopped transacting frequently. That made me think twice about my DCA and like what I could and couldn't afford, and all, like making sure that I have my money for the week and that I've just put my investment away for however, you know, it's, I definitely got a little more nerdy about that. Mr. Roberts said, I looked it up last week, and basically from 2015 on for us up here was a gross divergence from y'all down there. Our infrastructure investment was 45 degrees down and yours was 45 degrees up. Dang. That's crazy. That being said, to your defense, to your credit as a country, I feel like Canada, maybe not even Canada, I feel like the United States is just incredibly wasteful. Like, we can have everything built out and stuff, and then, like, if we started here and we ended here, they're like, okay, we're done with everything. And then they're like, well, let's take a look at this again, and let's just tear it down and redo it. Just because we can. Because, you know, Joe Blow and John Smith are so used to receiving X amount of dollars from the federal government to, like, build out this crap. There's no more room for this crap. But this crap over here, they built like 10 years ago. It's kind of old now. So let's redo it. Let's gut it and fix it. That road that we just did 5 years ago, let's rip it up and cover it with blacktop so that it has to be maintained every single day. Do you know how much maintenance goes into blacktop? It is the dumbest road like material I've ever seen. They're doing blacktop everywhere out here, and it's driving me crazy. If it rains, you can't see. You just can't see. The road turns into a black abyss that reflects everything. It turns into a black mirror. And don't even get me started on ice on blacktop. It's ridiculous. And they're like, yeah, this is fine for Michigan. I could talk about wasted money from the government for forever, but nothing's ever going to change. I'm going to get into local politics, and I'm going to make them stop redoing our roads unnecessarily. Maybe put the effort into roads that actually freaking need it. Roar got a nice little candle right here, 9.61%. Very cool. Bitcoin quiet. Giovanni said, well, if the roads were better quality, they could redo it less. Exactly. Well, that's why I think they're putting the blacktop in, so that they have to redo it more. And it's cheap, and you just kind of plop it over what's already there. It drives me crazy. The town that I grew up in redid like their main boulevard in cement, and they did such a good job. It literally, they have not had to touch it in like 10 years. And they put the extra time and effort into cutting the cement, like the lines, so that way it doesn't crack and fall apart. There's a foundation. Like, it's not hard. It's really not hard to build a road that doesn't fall apart. The problem is they have to put out a bid locally. They have to put out a bid and be like, we're going to redo, 10 miles stretch of this road. And then everyone's like, I'll do it for this much. I'll do it for that much. And then whatever, they probably pick the lowest bid, which is some jack off that has almost no experience, or he has a ton of experience, like cutting corners, so that he could pocket as much money as possible, because he has to take the lowball bid in order to win. And then you end up with roads that fall apart in a year. It's ridiculous. Mr. Roberts said, we're both wasteful for sure, but being wasteful while being more productive per capita wins. We won't be as productive until we can unleash our energy resources, period. I'm excited for nuclear energy. I am really excited for nuclear energy. It seems like Trump is very pro-nuclear, and that has me excited for nuclear energy, because I feel like Chernobyl did to nuclear what Reagan did for like weed and drugs. It was just like this big, weird, uncomfortable, like misinformation campaign. Not that Chernobyl was a disaster, but since then we've fixed a lot of problems with nuclear, and everyone still freaks out, and they treat it like it's every single nuclear power plant's just going to become Chernobyl tomorrow. And I'm sure that has to do with lobbying from other energy companies, like the gas companies and the coal, whoever the hell, all these freaking losers. I don't know. I hate these people. I hate them all. Congratulations, Giovanni, once again on your victory. I think I'm gonna call it, guys. Pretty quiet after the close. Hopefully this is a beautiful double top rejection right here, and we just get some perpetual downside out of Bitcoin dominance, and alts can wake up and do the crazy angry pumpage thing that they normally do during alt season. Let's actually go check really quick. We have Fear and Greed at 56. That's not bad. Alt season indicator 68 out of 100. Average crypto RSI is overbought. This is kind of cool. I kind of like that new feature. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, alt season indicator 68. Let's go. All right, yeah, I think I'm gonna call it, guys. As always, appreciate you guys for watching. Smash the like button on your way out. Subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna be uploading some video game playthroughs soon, so keep an eye out for that if you guys are interested. As always, if Bitcoin starts to do anything crazy, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Happy Thursday. Smash the like button on your way out. Don't panic. And good night.